Welcome everyone to Paul Smith Ministry, my new channel. Thank you for checking out my first post. Obviously, I'm Paul Smith. I'm uh, recognized pretty well for my long hair and for my beard. Um, Also, I have a receding hairline, but that doesn't detract me from recording video online and trying to post content for you all to check out. I thought, since most of you probably know me as probably a friend or family or even from the church, I thought I would start out with a few basics to answer as many questions as possible to start out with. So I thought I would start out with the who, the what, the where, the when, the why, and the how. So the who and the what are linked together. Obviously, I'm Paul Smith and I'm making content for Paul Smith Ministry. And just to say, Paul Smith Ministry and all this content that I'm putting online doesn't consist of all the ministry that I do in my life. I'm a real minister in the Methodist Church. Uh, I'm part of the United Methodist Church, and I'm appointed here in Woodstock, New York. Yeah, that Woodstock, the one that the festival is named after, but it actually didn't take place here. I learned, coincidentally, I visited the Woodstock Festival Museum that's in Bethel Woods. It's about a 60-70 mile drive from here. And I learned that it was supposed to take place here in Woodstock, but ended up taking place in Bethel Woods. So hopefully I can be able to share some more of my experience and my knowledge of being here in Woodstock, also being a minister in the Methodist Church. And I'll be posting more on that later at some point. I was hesitating when I was planning this channel and this content that I'm posting online that I would be referring to myself as a minister in the church and doing ministry, because the whole reason I'm doing this is to be connecting to a broader community. I'm not looking to engage religious folks and increase a religious following where I'm looking to impose my Christian faith on you and trying to make you become a part of my faith or my church or anything like that. That's not why I'm doing this. I'll be explaining more what I'm trying to do, but what I'm not trying to do is to scare people away, especially when they first see this content and see that it's Paul Smith Ministry and that I'm a minister in the church and think that I'm trying to be religious or anything like that. So hopefully by feedback and by reputation that people will be able to quickly gather that that's not what this is all about. And hopefully they'll see what I'm trying to do here. If there's anything I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to be a positive reflection on being a Christian, especially in a world where the perception and the reputation of Christianity, like even when you go into Google and you search Christianity or Christians, I remember this search of why are Christians so ... and Google would like auto-complete the line and talk about how Christians are so, and then some negative phrase one after the other. And it was obviously that shows there's a lot of work that we have to do in the church and as Christians. So that's probably a post in the future, but I just wanted to get that out there, that hopefully this is not going to deter you or make you afraid of me trying to evangelize or anything like that. So I feel like constantly whenever I'm doing my work have to put out a disclaimer that I'm not evangelizing or imposing my faith on people. And whenever I do that, I actually get positive feedback from people saying that they, even though they don't share the same background or beliefs or understandings as me, they really appreciate feeling welcomed and included, and they were comforted by the way that I received them, wherever I was, whatever I was doing at that time. So I believe that it's possible for us to be in conversations, to share ourselves, to share our perspectives, our views, our positions on things, our beliefs, our understandings, and yet we can disagree with each other, and we can still be kind and caring to each other. It's part of my faith and understanding that whoever you are behind this camera, that you're a child of God, and I'm a child of God, and so that makes me to believe that we are spiritual brothers and sisters, and therefore I should be seeking to be respectful of you, and also seeking to be in a caring, supporting relationship as we are supposed to be, as we are in our families. Um, so hopefully we can, in families people disagree and they argue and they fight about things, but in the end the goal is that we will love each other and care for each other and stick together. Um, and that's what I really wish for all people, that we can be building relationships with each other and promoting peace and promoting growth and understanding and nurturing each other. And that's the kind of space I want to be making, the kind of content I want to be making on this channel. Um, so it goes without saying, obviously I'm comfortable and looking to be talking about some of the more serious, heavier content, like some of the issues going on around the world, and obviously religion and politics, which I'm not afraid to get into. But I also want to show that I don't mind talking about some of the more playful and fun stuff in life, the things that hopefully other passions that we have that make life rich and full and interesting. So I like sports, I like games, I like music, I like movies, I like art, I like learning about different cultures and even traveling when I get the opportunity. So hopefully I'll be able to share some of those sides of myself, and hopefully I get to also uh, sh- uh, have you share some of that with me as well. And hopefully we can get into maybe some playful banter and debates about trivial things too, not just all the heavy, serious stuff. Um, so part of this blog is really to uh, continue to add and promote to the idea that as Christians and as people of faith, that we can be normal human beings. I'm just a normal dude, and yet I can still have a faith. I could still care about the heavy, serious stuff in the world, and I can also be a regular person. I'm married. I have a son, and I grew up on Long Island in the United States, and so I'm sure I have a lot of common experiences as any other neighbor that grew up in this country. So hopefully we can share some of the things we share in common, and hopefully I could also share some of the unique things about me, and hopefully some positive and valuable insight as well. So I'm one of those people that believe that we can both live and care about the serious stuff that's going on around the world, some of the major issues, uh, both with social issues, political issues, economic issues, all the different injustices that happen, and things that we care about, like racism and sexism and other stuff that I'll talk more about in the future. Um, but I also feel like we can um, live our life as much as we can. Like I could still be a father, a husband, a son, a brother, and a friend, and and a citizen, and still be able to be a person of faith, and still be a person that cares about the issues going on in the world. So both I'm a normal human being, and yes, as a normal human being, as we all should be trying to be informed, trying to be aware, and trying to have a heart that cares about the things that matter in the world. So I believe that we need to be grateful for this life, especially if you've been blessed, if you have good fortune, and you see others in the world that are less fortunate to different degrees, and some of them much more. And nevertheless, we need to not ignore those things. not ignore the things that are wrong with the world, and by appreciating uh, the blessings that we have in this life, the good things, we should actually be willing, um, therefore, making sacrifices because we're thankful, to try to make the world a better place because other people are less fortunate than us, and we are fortunate. Um, Therefore, we should be recognizing that and making the decision to do the right thing. And doing the right thing often requires us to make sacrifices, and recognizing our privileges and using that privileges to make a difference. So obviously, that's some insight into future posts that I'm going to be diving more deeply into if you're interested into that kind of stuff. And uh, I'm really just trying to share myself with whoever's interested to check out the stuff that I have to share. You know, I was inspired or encouraged to do this content because I was, you know, I live a busy life. You know, have family, I have ministry, I have all these responsibilities that I need to be doing. I'm running around constantly, and sometimes it's kind of routine, the responsibilities. So while I'm doing these routine responsibilities, I like to listen to the radio or stream you know, videos or podcasts and things like that. And I like to hear the voices and the perspectives and the insights and the reflections that people have, you know, daily, because of all the things that go on in the world, whether for pleasure or for business, or for serious matters. And you know, I was thinking, wow, these people have such great content, and they're even just people like what I'm doing, just taking out a camera and a microphone and recording their thoughts and their perspective, and even doing it quite well, making it much fancier than I'm making it right here and now. But I thought, I want to put this content out as quickly as possible, and then learn as I go, and I'll make it better hopefully as I go on. But I really just want to add my voice to the collection, because there's just so much good stuff out there. And if you're like me, in our busy lives, we want to be engaged, we want to be connected. And I know there's tons of people who that I'm friends with and connected with that I haven't been able to catch up with, and I'm sure you'll be some of the first people that will be checking me out. So hopefully I'll be adding my voice, but maybe I'll be encouraging and inspiring you to do the same, because we have the technology now with the smartphones and with the computers. It's just so easy now to, you know, start recording and start sharing ourselves, because there are so many moments in my life that I just look back on and I was thinking about, wow, I wish I would have thought or had the opportunity to record it, to record that conversation, to record that moment, to record that experience, and to share the impact that it's had on me, or to even reflect on that after it happened, so that I can kind of keep it as like almost like a journal input. And so that's sort of what this is going to be. I'm going to try as often as possible to record what's going on, whether I experience something or think something, and I want to share it. I'll try to record as much as possible and post it, and try to learn ways to make it more fancy and good looking and things like that. And hopefully I'll get other voices in with me, and this won't be just me speaking into the camera. But maybe I'll add other voices, because there are times I meet people, encounter people, I'm thinking, wow, I'm so fortunate to have run across this person and have them share this insight. I wish they can share it with more people. So hopefully I'll be able to share the stuff that I encounter with people, and then broaden the connection, broaden the audience that we have for this kind of stuff. So I'm hoping to really just offer some food for thought. You know, if you leave these videos having something to think about, something to challenge you, or something to inspire you or encourage you, you know, then I think it was worth it. I think that's what this content in this channel is really all about. So besides being content for your consumption, I'm also trying to look at this as a, sort of like a journal, as I said. I'll try to post as much as possible. I was thinking about, I'm a pastor. Every Sunday I get to preach, and I'm lucky if I get 10 to 15 minutes of people's attention. But my congregations that I serve, they're of a much older demographic. They have different background, different understanding of things sometimes, and I'm very limited in what I'm able to preach on, because obviously it's a worship service, so I'm sharing my faith and reflecting on the scriptures that we study and adhere to. And I try to offer my application to it, but then in the end, I always feel like, man, there's just so many things I want to talk about. There's so many things I want to be engaged with and connecting to and contacting to, but it's just not possible. Excuse me. On a regular Sunday morning worship, and even if I did Bible studies and small group ministries that I do, I'm still finding myself not able to talk about all the things I like to talk about. So I'm looking at this content and this channel as an opportunity for me to be able to do it and hopefully connect with people that are interested in similar things as me, and hopefully we can support each other in that journey. Especially, I'm out in Woodstock. I grew up on Long Island. I think on Long Island when I was growing up, there were much more people I can connect with. There were much more ways that I can connect with people. But here in Woodstock, I feel a little bit more isolated, to be honest, where this is like hope for me as a chance to kind of expand my borders, expand my horizons, and I'll be able to hopefully establish greater connections, especially with people that hopefully have similar interests as me. And so I'm really excited to do this. I hope you can tell. I'm trying to put up a website where most of the content will be mainly there, and then kind of sift off into the different outlets there are. But I'll be on YouTube, I'll be on Facebook, I'll be on Twitter, Instagram, and as this unfolds, I'll learn better how to connect with you all, and hopefully you'll be able to find my content wherever you are. And I invite you, if you can, to subscribe, to comment, offer your feedback. Let's make this a mutual experience, and hopefully we'll both learn and grow together and be inspired, encouraged, and challenged, and this will be an awesome experience. So until next time, thank you for joining me. I'm Paul Smith. Peace.